Welcome to the 42nd Annual Sun and Fun International Convention and Fly-In here at Lakeland Linder Regional Airport. I'm Ben Coleman, one of your hosts here for the Florida Aviation Network, and we are viewed on the www.floridaaviationnetwork.com on the internet. And if you are viewing this on the internet, you really should be here at the airport watching this live. And we're recognizing our veterans this week, and we're dedicating the whole week to our armed forces. Yesterday was Army Day, today's Navy Day. So we do want to acknowledge the folks that have donated their time, given their in many cases, a majority of their life to help us. And what we enjoy here in this country is our freedom, our way of life, and we thank you for your service. That being said, we also have many thanks to be given as far as our educational aspects, and we have Mr. Keith Smith here with Keith.
Thank you for having me on.
It's good to have you. And I met Keith several years ago before the Central Florida Aerospace Academy started up, and Keith is the director of the academy, and they have accomplished considerable amount in the few years that they have been operating so far, and the future is even brighter than the past. So I want to give Keith a chance to talk to us about what some of their accomplishments have been, and more important, what their accomplishments are going to be, and what we can do in the public to help these guys. Keith, tell us, what have you done lately?
Well, first of all, let me just say that being here at Sun and Fun is a great privilege. Sun and Fun is our biggest partner, and they help us accomplish the things that that we do accomplish. One of which is last year we put 53 student pilots in the air, and I'm talking about kids in high school. 53 of them soloed. Every time they solo, we engrave a brick and put their name out front, so they're on a circle of Ring of Honor, Circle of Fame, whatever you want to call it. We added 53 names, 53 bricks last year. We also had 48 students finish their flying lessons and got their pilot's license last year. So that's basically why we're here. Sun and Fun is a big part of that. They help administer the scholarship that Mr. James Ray set up. All of our kids have access to the scholarship, and it pays for approximately 95% of their flight lessons, which I'm sure you know amounts to a great deal of money.
Wow.
So the only thing they have to do to be eligible for the scholarship is have a 2.75 GPA, which is not that hard to attain, and have no discipline problems, and they're eligible. So we're very proud of the progress we've made with that. We're putting a lot of kids in the air, and they're completing their studies and getting their pilot's license.
Well, Keith, I know that the staff their heart is in it, because you really got to enjoy not only teaching, but you've got to enjoy aviation as well.
Right.
And it's obvious if you get a chance to go over to the academy and view it, please do, because it's first class. They've got wonderful facilities. They have the training aids, and it's just first class. That's all I can say about it. And the most important thing is that it's duplicatable, because Keith, I don't think you've done anything over there that's unique or anything that's proprietary, anything that you don't want to have emulated somewhere else in the country or the world, for that matter.
Oh, absolutely not. In fact, AOPA put together this past fall a group of aviation high schools that we attended. And in fact, it was held right here on Sun and Fun campus. Next year, I think it's going to be in Seattle. But there are several models out there. We're not the only model. We're proud of what we do. I think right now, we're putting more pilots in the air than any other high school. I think our model is successful based on the results that I've given you already. we give tours all the time. We invite anybody that wants to look at our model to come in and look at it, because I mean the main thing we're interested in is helping the aviation industry and getting more pilots and mechanics and electronics technicians, getting them out there for the aviation industry. That's what it's all about.
Good. Keith, what kind of crossover programs do you have between high school and college? What is the involvement to get somebody further along where they can actually get some sheepskin to put on the wall?
Well, we have two different programs that we have for, it's called dual enrollment. So because they'll take a college course, it accounts for their high school credit, and it also counts for college credit. Polk State College, as I'm sure you know, they have an aviation program, and we're a partner with them, and they give us 4 of their aviation classes. Mr. Walter Houghton is one of our teachers. He's also a professor at Embry-Riddle, and he's qualified to teach at Polk State, and they've licensed him to teach those courses for us. We have 4 of those, and we also have an agreement with Embry-Riddle that we're teaching 2 of their aviation courses. And since, again, Walt was already a professor with them, he teaches 2 nights a week at MacDill Air Force Base over there for Embry-Riddle. So he was already licensed with them, and so he teaches those courses for us also. In fact, his whole course schedule practically is dual enrollment classes. So each one of those counts about 3 college credits. So by the time they graduate, they can have about, 6 times 3, 18 aviation college credits.
Wow. And you take that if they go through the A&P course, if they want to go through a management, there's another, I believe, 60?
Yes.
I believe there's 60 credits that you get.
Yes. The A&P course, once they finish that and get their A&P certificate, they have, the only thing they have to do to get their AA degree is finish up the courses that they have to have, like English 1, English 2, humanities, those things. All of the rest of it counts towards all of their other credits they need.
That's great, and I'm a very big advocate, Keith. I don't know if you know, I'm a mechanic by heart.
I did know that.
Okay.
You told me when we talked a couple years ago.
Well, my heart is firmly into maintenance, but I also like to fly, and it has been so much of a. I'm not going to say it's made. Well, I can say honestly that it's made my career easier because I have both disciplines. And that's something I'm trying to encourage and pull out to any of the youth I ever get a chance to talk with and ask them if they want to fly. Sure, I want to be a pilot. How about a mechanic? I don't know about being a mechanic. I don't know if I'm good enough. Or they usually come up with an excuse why not to be a mechanic. Don't have to get my hands dirty, and safety wire cuts me too much, and so forth. But I really encourage pilots, the young pilots especially, to get their mechanic certificate if you can, if there's a way to get it. But look into it. And the mechanics, same deal, just reverse.
Need to get their pilot's license.
You ever think about flying? It's just too expensive. No, not really. If you want to do it bad enough, you'll find a way to make it happen.
Exactly.
But we've got to have this dual concept, I think.
Well, we preach that to our kids who are, we have the 4 tracks over there. We've got A&P, we have avionics, we have engineering, and we have the pilot track. And we preach to our pilots the importance of being able to take care of your own engine, taking care of your own plane. That it's not just about whether you are going to work for an airline or not, although the opportunity's there if you have the A&P certificate. It does nothing but enhance. If you have the A&P certificate, I mean, it does nothing but enhance your ability to move upward in the aviation industry. I mean, it's such a revered thing to have that, we're partnered, JetBlue is one of our biggest partners, and just about all of their, if not all, almost all of their executives have A&P licenses. It's almost a requirement if you want to move up in the company. So you're exactly right.
Well,
it's something that they need to know about.
Well, and multidisciplined, I'm a little bit weak on my avionics. Therefore, I'm even at my ripe old age of, I'm still trying to get a hold of as many avionics books because I want to learn more about spark chasing. Engineering, fortunately, there's enough engineering involved with A&P course that you do some drafting, you can do some schematics, do some drawings, and the only thing that we don't get involved in is doing load analysis. Doing load analysis is so much fun, and it, you know, a lot of people think, oh, Ben, you're just a geek. No. When you start seeing the application of what these numbers and figures, what they actually tell you, and give you, you can design something and know that there's a 150% safety factor in it. So therefore, when you get your rear end in the sling, that it's going to not let you down. It's going to support you. Or anybody that you sign that it's safe and they're going to go fly it, you can let them go out with confidence that you've done your homework. And it's that drive, that professionalism that I see coming out with your staff over there. And it's what I hope that it proliferates and goes not only throughout the country. And I do understand you do have some folks that come in from time to time to look at your program and how
Yes.
you do it, and try to see how they can make that happen in their communities.
Well, that's, I mean, like I said before, we're an open book. I'm not hoarding anything. I don't want to hoard anything. We're here, basically, we were an idea of Rick Garcia's, from Gulf Coast Avionics. It was the whole aviation high school idea was his, and he's the guiding force on my board today. And the whole purpose was to be able to put more fannies in pilot seats and get out more mechanics and avionics technicians and engineers. I mean, that was something that was a byproduct when we started the whole thing. We didn't really start thinking about engineers, but then that came up, and we added that track in there also. So we're looking at several other tracks that we'd also like to add. Unmanned aircraft, we're looking at that. We're also looking at air traffic control. So there's everything. I mean, we're looking at the whole industry and where we can be a help to them and trying to move that forward.
Well, and I know it's hard for you at this point, Mr. Smith, Mr. Smith, I'm sorry.
Keith.
Well, I'm being one of your students now,
Right.
Mr. Smith. I mean, I don't know you students, though. They don't call you Keith.
No, they don't.
So where we're taking this is, I know what you've done, and you just mentioned you're going to kind of expand out a little bit into like UAVs, because that's very much a part of our future.
Yes.
Are you having, and I know Mr. Ray, James C. Ray is, well, he believes in you enough to where he's put a majority of his wealth behind his word. And are there other James Rays out there that want to come in and help, and that Mr. Ray has kind of pulled in, and well, he's having all the fun doing this with his money. I want to have fun with my money too.
Right, I'm sure there are. There has to be. I know we've had. I know that Sun and Fun, not us personally, but Sun and Fun has had a lot of success with the Davis family, participating with Sun and Fun. The Davis family, and I can't think of their names, but they're they're Barnett's with Publix. The two of them donated $250,000 to renovate that 727 that was donated by FedEx a couple of years ago, and now they've made that into a classroom that our students can go in and use. It's fully set up as a classroom, and if you get a chance, you ought to go tour it. It's
I haven't
open.
been in it.
Yeah, you ought to. It is fabulous. I mean, we've got 32 seats in there, place up front for the teacher to sit. It's a smart TV that you have the touch screen, and you can move things around just like a. I mean, it is fabulous. It's got a place in the back so that you can pull kids out with two computers, and if they're, you need to do a little extra work with them, you can get them working on that. It is just a fabulous thing, and that was put together by Sun and Fun, and through the help of Mr. Barnett's from Publix and Davis's.
And the Davis Foundation.
Yes.
Well, I'm really I'm very anxious to see what some of the next steps are, because as good as it has been, I'm one of those, glass is half full kind of guy.
Right.
We really won't be there until, and I think we have around 300 students.
Right. We got 300 students now, and we're slated. Looks like we're going to have about 350 next year, so we're growing. Our capacity is about 500, just under 500. I think if we hit 500, we hit a fire code violation. But 499 is our capacity. At that point, if we're still growing, we'll have to see about adding another building.
Well, there's still some real estate around here.
Yes.
And I hope that we don't see the school getting to be like a beehive over there, a bunch of bees crawling all over each other trying to get knowledge. But but if that's what we have to do, that's what we have to do. That's a good problem to have.
It is.
If it turns out to be a problem.
It is a good problem to have, but we're growing. I expect that within the next 2 to 3 years, we'll have the place full.
Keith, it's hard to say at this point, safety systems. And I don't know if you've been watching this much, and this is the wrong time of the interview at the tail. We need to talk about safety management systems. It's not a bad time to kind of implement that into the student psyche of keeping us safe. But hey, thank you so much for coming and joining us here.
It's always a pleasure to be on the Florida Aviation Network.
We're going to learn. We're going to learn more about it. And we're going to end this interview session and look forward to another one here sometime. Why don't we do it again in about 30 minutes or so? I've been Coleman, Florida Aviation Network. We'll see you.